A few meters from Masindi town lies Uganda's oldest hotel, built by Kenya-Uganda Railways nearly a century ago. Masindi Hotel has kept the charm of the 19th century, the era that inspired its architecture when it was being established in 1923. A few of the items in here date back to the pre-colonial time, some even engraved on with symbols of KU. Many of the accessories used were specially made for Kenya-Uganda Railways.
The main purpose of the hotel was for tourists and for the goods being transported between Nimule and Congo, Kasenyi. It used to be we used to have warehouses next to the hotel where they used to store the goods which had come from Sudan and from Congo. The railway started from Mombasa up to Namasagali. In Namasagali, there was a ship. There was a ship which would bring goods from Namasagali up to Masindi Port. From Masindi Port, it would be transported by road and up to the port of Butiaba. And from there, they would go to Nimule and they would go to the Congo. They would bring in timbers and cotton and other stuff that they grew there at that time. And Masindi was the central point where it was stored.
Its management and ownership has shifted several times until 17 years ago when Mr. Begani bought it. He's a man who has ventured in several businesses, and one would ask, why Masindi Hotel?
Well, as you know, in 72, all Asians were thrown out of Uganda by Idi Amin. So I went briefly to Canada and came back when still Amin was in power. I just ventured because this was my home. So I braved it and came back because Uganda was home. So I started slowly doing business, had a shop on Lovom Street at first. Then I had the famous restaurant in Kampala at that time called Little Flowers. That Little Flowers was started by me in 1984. And ever since, I have done a lot of things. I am an adventurist. I like to do different things. So in 1994, I was also involved in the burials of the Rwandese, the genocide.
Martin Barros is a writer and journalist. He was here over 2 years ago doing research on Uganda's wildlife. Many of the visitors at Masindi Hotel are like him, looking for beauty, tranquility, and rich history.
I love Masindi Hotel. That's why I'm staying here. I'm on vacation. I've been working very hard. I need a place to relax. I don't know of any hotel in Uganda or Kenya where you can relax better than you can here. And being a writer, this hotel has so much history.
Like many of the visitors here, he's inspired by Ernest Miller Hemingway, who stayed at the hotel twice. There's even a bar named after the great American novelist.
Hemingway was America's greatest writer. He loved Africa. He said, I never woke up in the morning in Africa when I was not happy. And so it's very difficult to say, but that kind of attitude that he had and enthusiasm he had for Africa rubs off on me in this hotel, this very hotel. And it is 19th century.
When he was at this hotel, he was assumed dead in America, because that's where he was from. So he stayed here for a while, recouped, and he went back. Then there was a famous movie, The African Queen. The actors also stayed here at that time when it was made. And those are the famous people who have stayed here. There are many more whom I don't know because they didn't keep the records. From what I understand, even the present Queen of England, her father had also stayed in this hotel.
There are not as many visitors as there used to be in the 60s. Times have changed. The Masindi port attracted many visitors, and so did the booming tourism industry.
I would like to see it much better developed than what it is now. But we don't have that much clientele. As I said, that the Kampala Lira Gulu Road was diverted, and now we have less traffic here. So we only depend on tourists. And in future, when the oil, they start producing the oil and whatever, let's hope things will change.
The workers try to maintain a standard of service fit for a stud hotel. Every service has a little charm to it. The prices match those of hotels around Masindi. Sodas, for example, go at 3,000 shillings per bottle. But some services have been replaced with modern machines.
This is the original switchboard. Basically every single room or restaurant or like the kitchen and different service areas of the hotel would have phones, and if they wanted to connect to anybody, it would go to the operator who would then connect them using this switchboard. These are the different, each one of these would be connected to a different point, and I imagine that if the call came in, you'd just have to switch the line in order to make the connection. We actually have a PABX system, which is like the modern version of this.
To construct a swimming pool here would be adding an amenity that the hotel originally never had. However, visitors do take advantage of the camping area like in the good old days. Mustak Begani wants to maintain the classiness of this hotel. Even when he renovates it, some of the pieces will be left as they are.
We have quite a bit of staff. We are trying to employ them, but things are not yet good. Things are not good. I've had this hotel, as I said, from 2000, so 17 years now. And business hasn't been that bright. And then at the same time, so many other hotels have come up. And we are now sharing the business between about 6 or 7 hotels.
Not long ago, Masindi Hotel earned a heritage prize. Mustak Begani hopes that his children, grandchildren and generations to come can live up to this history. That being said, it's questioned whether this is indeed Uganda's oldest hotel. And it is, because many others that existed a long time ago are not anymore. Yet Masindi Hotel, built in 1923, still looks to a future.
This hotel was, as I said, was built by Kenya-Uganda Railways. They had hotels like this, all from Mombasa, in some central points, like I think even in Nakuru they had one, Nairobi, and so on, and this was one of them here. So there were other hotels which were older than this one, but they are not in existence anymore.
Razia Athman for New Vision TV.